Time came for proper druid raid guide. This is what big boys are playing, this is what you should play on Mythic. But in case you are just starting with the World of Warcraft, starting with druid, starting with healing, I have just different guide. Is much easier to understand, to min-max what to do there, and you don't need to knowledge of fights, you don't need to know what other healers are doing, you don't need to have knowledge how much mana you can afford to use, and just simple and easy. It's just not blasting the best, so if you want a little bit easier something, the link will be in this description. Only minus on that build is you need 4-piece, but as today, this week is first week you can have full 4-piece without ever visiting raid, so shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so this will be a little bit more advanced build. You need to focus more, you need to prepare your heals more, you need to dig deeper into your mana, and you need to know what is happening, where to blast, where to not blast. Before I start, I want to let you know I have exactly the same guide in text on Discord, so if everything what I'm saying now is in the text. Let's start with stats. So, as Resto Druid, as usually, our main stat is haste. Don't check my stats, I'm just switching gear a lot. I still don't have high item level, I'm just switching whatever I'm just getting from weekly and stuff like that. So yeah, don't copy what I have, but most priority is haste. Get 5,000 as soon as possible, you can have even to 7,000, so 6,800 is where the second diminishing is starting, so 6,800 is great spot to be with haste. With mastery is our second most important stat, and also don't go hammer mastery, like 4,000, 5,000. The first diminishing is starting 5,400, but you don't need to go that high. Just between 4,000, 5,000 is just great spot to be with mastery. And then there is critical or versatility, is just your pick, whatever you want. It's better for versatility if you're going more dungeons, if just more for raid healing than critical strike, that will be better. But our focus is haste and mastery, with haste to be absolutely most important stat. Usually I don't talk about gear, to just get what you need for stats, but a little note for restoration druids in raid. Amalgam from Blackroot Hold Trinket is absolutely massive tool that every restoration druid who is visiting Mythic raid or just trying to blast, it just must have Trinket, because it will give you massive mana back. When I checked some logs, I just got it yesterday from week, I didn't play with it yet, but I was checking Mythic logs and it was regenerating 130,000 mana. That's a huge amount of mana with just one stupid trinket in some little slot on your gear. Okay, it's a stupid trinket, it's amazing, man. It's a lot of mana, and it's amazing because Druid is doing what in raid? He's dying on mana. This is absolutely massive tool. You should definitely have with Restoration Druid in raid. From talents didn't change much from previous season, is literally the same. Of course we have trees now, but we had trees on end of the previous season too, so not much difference there. We are choosing a Tranquil Might instead of a Walking Dream, because we have now our 4-piece that is profiting a lot from clear casting, so we have 2 stacks and a little bit more chance to proc it. Otherwise it's similar what we see in previous season, so, or not even similar, almost the same. If you want these talents, the link will be under video in the description. So biggest change what we got from previous season, we got cap on our abundance, is no longer uncapped, or rather cap on 20, but the 20 or more doesn't matter because 20 is 100% critical strike chance and 100% mana cost reduction. And now it's kept on 12 stacks or 60%, so we'll never get free regrowths and we're gonna get 100% critical chance regrowths. And that means we are still focusing on spell rejuvenation, is or still our main pump in the raid, but we no longer looking forward to having 20 plus stacks, so we can just spam 3 regrowths is no longer available to us. Of course we can spell some regrowths when we have some extra mana, but now we are focusing much more to heal with rejuvenations, and rejuvenations are healing much more when we have 3 of life, so our most healing should be just pure rejuvenations. We are not putting rejuvenations so we can spam regrowth, we are just healing with rejuvenations. So whole raid healing is just rejuvenation, rejuvenation, rejuvenation. Of course, Grew Guardians and of course Wild Growth as our top priorities. That's what heal the most. So from topmost priority is to keep live loop on yourself. We have only one live loop in raid, and we are not stop keeping it yourself because we want to have 20% faster heals over time effects. So all the time live bloom on yourself is also healing you a lot, so you are a little bit more tanky, but maybe we are going for that 20% boost for us. So always on you, all the time, keep it up. Our second priority is to keep efflorescence under the raid, so when raid moves or is just ending duration, just replace it. It's nice heal. With those two things prepared, our third priority is just blasting our Groove Guardians because they are really mana effective. They are costing so little of mana, they are healing so much. Even with the new set is healing much more than before. And they are off global cooldown, so anytime you're doing anything else, you're spamming rejuvenations, you click, you can do between 2 rejuvenations, click between anything. It's just free of global cooldown, so you can squeeze it absolutely anywhere. And yeah, it's very effective on mana, and it's healing a lot. They are targeting good targets that is low, or rather to have some healing over time effect, to use our mastery that is increasing nourish what they are casting by 300%. So almost any time is good time for Groove Guardian. If both is more like burst phases, then keep more stacks together and blast it at the same times during burst phase. It's just sustain damage, just keep clicking a 3 here and there, never keep it on 3 stacks. It's just waste of your opportunity to heal because it's really cheap and you're not losing any time by clicking them. Then we're actually starting to heal. Other things are like, be prepared, I click it because it's effective. Now we're actually trying to pump numbers. We see some damage to the group, to the raid. And we are starting to use Swiftment with Valgrowth. Usually you are using it together because Swiftment should empower Valgrowth, because Valgrowth is very good ability to be empowered, and Swiftment is giving us Soul of the Forest buff that is increasing our next heal, and it's 50% for Valgrowth. They have similar cooldowns. Swiftment is 15, Valgrowth is 12. So Valgrowth is a little bit shorter than Swiftment, but if you are in tight situation, use Valgrowth without Swiftment. But usually you should cast them together. If you really need to pump a little bit more that AoE, just do it, but Swiftment and Valgrowth should be in good companionship to use Swiftment before Valgrowth to empower it. And also, of course, Swiftment is healing, so. Moving on next priority, and that is Clear Casting plus Regrowth. So, what is doing Clear Casting Regrowth? Before, in previous seasons, when you had Clear Casting or Regrowth, was free of mana cost, and that was it. Now, we have our 2-piece and 4-piece. So, consuming Clear Casting now causes your Regrowth to also cast Nourish onto a nearby injured ally at 200% effectiveness, preferring those with your hero time effects. That's amazing they are preferring also healing over time effects because it's casting Nourish, and Nourish is 300% more effective from your mastery. So Clear Casting Regrowth will cast Nourish that probably heal much more than that Regrowth. And also it's combining with 2-piece. That means you and your Groove Guardians Nourishes now heal 2 additional allies within 45 yards at 40% effectiveness. That means that Nourish will be casted from 4-piece, will be healing 80% more, 40% on each target. So it's absolutely massive heal because it's healing good and it's free of mana cost. It's completely free of mana cost. So another reason to keep it alive on yourself at all time, because you are just waiting for that juicy Clear Casting perks. Then we are getting to our bread and butter, is spamming Rejuvenations. Rejuvenation is also our top heal what we'll have in the raid, so it should be Rejuvenation with Valgrowth. What we are doing with Rejuvenations, nothing special. We're just clicking. Here you go, here you get. Everybody get Rejuvenations. Everybody get twice Rejuvenations that we can apply. Twice as the same target. There is not like simple rule where you should apply Rejuvenation or which target. It's just you keep spreading Rejuvenations for whole duration of pull, because that's how you heal. Ideally you want to time your Rejuvenation spam when you have 3 of life, because in 3 of life Rejuvenation is healing 50% more and costing 30% less mana. And also with our trinket, our Rejuvenations, we can say it's costing less mana, but you should focus a little bit more on placing Rejuvenation on as many different targets and not focusing more to place 2 Rejuvenation at the same target, because otherwise your Fragile Echo won't expire and you won't get that mana back. As the Rejuvenation is best in 3 of life form, then of course we are a little bit timing it to have a ramp when is some big AoE healing required, or coming soon rather. We need, let's say, 10 seconds to prepare. So we should get 3 of lives up. We are spreading Rejuvenation, spreading, using inner weight to just keep some mana back, spreading, and then damage comes, and we should use our Flourish. Yeah, it's not what it was before, but still it's 25% healing increase, and the main what it's doing is also increasing duration of our HUDs. So there's extend those Rejuvenations and just see the show blinking heals everywhere. Like that's basically all magic you will doing in the raid with Restoration Druid, just if you know how to time good amount of Rejuvenations just in good times, so it's healing when it's need to be healed and it's healing when somebody else is not stealing your heals, because when somebody else pop cooldowns at the same time You spend so much mana to prepare that healing. It's not like somebody else, like Monk, okay, he can spell it with mana, but when you don't need to heal, you can spend, or rather save some mana to not heal that. But you as Extraction Druid, when the damage comes, you already committed all your mana you will use during that damage duration. So yeah, you need to really plan your rejuvenation spam and most of the healing. Well, most of the healing. Other things you are just preparing, clicking when some healing is required, like Wild Growth, you can click on cooldown with Swiftment. You can always click on cooldown because there's always something little to heal. But with rejuvenations, you really need to see how fight is going, where the burst phase, where is something important to heal, where somebody else don't have cooldowns. And this will be most thing you will be just interested in the raid. Because to play it is not so hard. But it's very hard to time everything, so it's alright. Because theory is very simple. You have some things prepared, and then you're just spamming rejuvenations. But the timing is everything. Timing is everything. What is difference between you have 0 mana and 0 health per second? Absolutely massive health per second. And on the bottom of priority list is regrowth. We are not have 3 regrowths. So we don't even want to spam them when we have 12 stacks of abundance. Because even on 12 stacks, when we have 3 of life, the rejuvenation heal more for less mana than the regrowth with 12 stacks. So rejuvenation is just our priority even more than before. But still, regrowth is good to use when somebody is really going to die, and if it saves somebody's lives, it's definitely worth to use. But of course, it's better when you have 12 stacks, when you are using it to save some mana, and it have much higher chance to do critical strike. But yeah, you should think about regrowth as somebody is very low and you need to save them, not something like before. We are forecasting regrowth because it's that's how we heal. I don't know. It's just question of life or death. Or also question if you have too much mana, yeah, feel free, but usually you can just spam some more rejuvenations. So we usually don't have some mana left just for regrowth. So let's summarize this. We always keep life room on ourselves. Then we are putting our efflorescence. Also we're keeping 100% uptime. So keep it under the raid when we moved, and whole raid moved. Move efflorescence too. And also on end of the duration, just replace new one, so we have 100% uptime. Third priority is Group Guardians. There is never a bad time to click Group Guardians. We are just healing effectively, costing very little of global cooldown. Then we are going for our spam of Wild Growth on cooldown. There is usually something to heal, so when is Swiftman and Wild Growth is ready, just click it. Then our big healing is Rejuvenations, but we need to pay attention when to start ramping Rejuvenations. And usually just put few of them, like tank is tanking, okay, put the rejuvenations on the tank, or somebody is playing mechanic, okay, put it on him. But usually, when you are using rejuvenations, you use a lot of them at the same time, and then you just chill. Not like I keep like 5 rejuvenations on 2 targets, because they are not like some other mechanics like Monk one, healing over time effects that are jumping on lower health targets when it's healing full targets. It's just heal a lot with rejuvenations, or just chill. Because just keep like 7 of them uptime or the whole duration is not very effective way how to heal with the druid. Of course, if you are lucky and always these 7 targets are getting damage, good for you. And on the very bottom of our priority list is regrowth, but that should be thinking about healing, should be thinking about saving somebody's life who really is about to die. Now about the cooldowns, so first one I like to talk about is Nature Swiftness. Nature Swiftness is past 1 minute cooldown, and usually you are just using on regrowth. There is no reason to use something else with it. And our regrowth is instant cast, it's costing no mana, and is 100% increase healing. So if somebody is about to die, some quick heal for him, and if usually not happening, then just use it on cooldown to get fun regrowth that is free of mana cost. There's no reason to not use free of mana cost heals, right? Then we have Flourish. Flourish is not what it used to be before, it got massive nerf, but it's still worth to use. It is now 1 minute cooldown. It was 1.5, so at least we get something back. So use it as much as possible, as it's now very short cooldown. And now it's not very important to have it during heavy hitting phase, because now it's not 100% increase healing over time effects, it's just 25. That's massive difference. But think about it to extend duration of HUDs. So when you just spread a lot of rejuvenations, usually after Wild Growth 2, then just click it and extend everything. Wild Growth is healing most health per second on the start, and is getting low healing over time effect the shorter duration it is. So when you extend Wild Growth just when you casted it, it's very good choice. Then we have Tranquility, of course, classic raid wild healing effects. So we click it, whole raid is getting healed. You can use it with the flourish, but you shouldn't, because its healing over time effect is very little comparison to how much it's healing during duration of our cast. Then we have Inner Evade, nerfed again. Its duration is now only 8 seconds, but it's still a very useful ability. And of course, when you use it, there is 100% reduced mana cost of your abilities. What you should do during that window is just spamming rejuvenations. That's the best you can do. Also, you can replace Efflorescence because it's costing quite a lot of mana and is also instant. And on the end, our biggest cooldown now in the raid is our Tree of Life. What we are getting from Tree of Life, we are getting 15% increase healing for everything, absolutely everything, and we have empowered some abilities. What is most important in our tree is our rejuvenations and wild growth. Rejuvenations is healing 50% more and costing 30% less mana. So we definitely want to time our Tree of Life when just ramping our stacks and stacks of rejuvenations so we can heal a lot when some bruise phase will come. We're also getting Tree of Life after we use Sweepment 3 times. So we're getting 1 stack of Reforestation after we use Sweepment 3 times. We're getting 3 Tree of Life for 10 seconds, and we also spawned 1 Groove Guardian. So every 10 seconds in Tree of Life form is spamming Groove Guardian. So even if you get it for 10 seconds, you will still spawn 1 tree, and the trees are healing decently, and it's just something that is happening, and it's absolutely free of mana, and they are healing nicely, they are choosing good targets, absolutely profit. And the second ability what we are interested in is Wild Growth, and Wild Growth is healing 2 more targets. So instead of 6, it's healing 8, so really nice. But with Wild Growth, we always want to use it on cooldown, so if you have Tree of Life and it just came off cooldown, you just use it. You don't need to think about, oh, I need to time it to Tree of Life. And usually before you are using Wild Growth, you are using Swiftment. So often when you get a 10 seconds proc of Tree of Life, it's just before you are casting Wild Growth, so it's usually lined quite nicely. But yeah, that's 2 abilities that are most important to do while in Tree of Life. And definitely you need to time spam of your rejuvenations with Tree of Life form because it's increasing your healing massively. That will be all for me. Thank you for watching. Think about subscribing and liking, it will help me a lot, and goodbye.